What's up, guys? Just a quick vlog. I'm about to eat the tacos. Yes, tacos. Ah, got the hot sauce. But I don't know, like something I've kind of been wanting to talk about is like music and like swag music. I think it's all about hammering on the fundamentals. So like um, rhythm, which is uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can chop it whenever you want. So you can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like it's so funny. A lot of people try to rap fast, but they're not even on rhythm. Like it's just all over the place. I remember that like your words have to like match the song. So when it's like that's when you hit something. So going to the store, trying to get more, etc., etc., right? And then you have tone, which is all like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. And like that harmonic scale, right? And like when you um, when you master that, like just that progression, right? You're able to actually control the lightness of your music. So I call rhythm like just the 1, 2, 3, 4 count. I call tone the lightness of your music, right? Like how light is it? Like, and if you think about like the greatest piece of music, they feel so elevating to the spirits because their tones are just so high frequency, like they're so pure, and it just makes you go like oh, oh. That's all like at church, like the classicals. It's all oh, oh. Like the tones are so high, and you're just like oh my god. So that's rhythm, that's tone, and then pitch is like the loudness of your music. And how I like to think about it, it's like imagine like the Kamehameha, as I was talking about. He's got the form down, and so now all he has to control is how much energy he infuses or outputs in his Kamehameha. So like something like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do is vastly different than do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Like one's more soft and the other one's more like ha. And like when you make your music, finding that sweet spot to where it's not grating on the ears, but at the same time, it's like perfectly audible, I think is the key. And like one of the reasons that creates or that makes a simple piece of music turn into a masterpiece or a game changer, right? So those are the three things. And it's so funny to kind of touch on the the count part, the rhythm, is that I was like talking to this kid, right, on my way back from California on the plane, and he was literally arguing with me about like rhythm. Like I was literally asking him these simple questions, and he could not answer him in a simple way. And I just felt so bad. I was like, man, who is your teacher? That's not right, bro. Like, and it kind of goes back to my yesterday's vlog, like teaching, or as I was talking about, like raising your employee or your client or your kid, is essentially doing it in the hopes that at the end they become extremely independent. Like literally not even relying on you for anything. The goal is to actually essentially make them spiritually evolve to where they become conscious, and now you guys become collaborators. And what does that mean? You literally, simply put, have or create a a connection or a relationship. And what it does, it keeps the material, the craft, the body of work alive and fresh, because he'll be like, hey, I did this. And then you'd be like, oh yeah, I did that and it worked too. And it was perfect. And I actually swagged it to the left. And then like this came out. And I was like, holy, and he's like, holy shit. And then someone else is like, bruh, I did that. And then I added another one and it just made it look even more epic. I'm like, oh no way. Like all collectively, right? And my point is, the fucking winners realize that there is no competition. It's all collaboration, and collaborating on what? Making the world better by making it a lighter place. That's what the winner's mindset is, right? It's almost the fucking losers, like fucking just people that just don't get it. They're always like, no, no, I'm the greatest rapper alive. I am. Fuck that guy. It's like, fuck. Like, how childish can you be, you know? And it's sad because it reflects in everything that they do. Like, they're always seems like they're like trying to gain attention, but then they don't have anything to say, you know? Or instead of like moving their world, their ecosystem, their communities forward, they're just stuck on like talking about the bullshit that is, maybe the bullshit that's in the past or what's currently going on, without providing any solution themselves. Or if they do, it's to make themselves seem like the person that has the key that everyone should listen to. So my point is, like, if you're trying to win, really want people to succeed. Like, actually want them to win. And when you do that, you'll provide an insane amount of value. And it'll literally be game changers. Like Gary was like, every single thing, every single piece that you create will be great. Because your intent and your intentions will be so aligned on a higher purpose, on a higher conscious level of operation, that everything would just flow and it just makes sense that what you do works, right? Like the whole fucking golden touch type shit. So just think about that. And then the last thing is, like, please, if you're a rapper out there, fucking freestyle. Like, please. Like, you have no idea how much of a disservice you're doing to yourself and to the fucking craft by not freestyling. Remember that rapping is called the art of the spoken word. And it arose at first as a way of storytelling. People would gather around, whether you were in your tribe or whether you're on a plantation, and they would beat drums. And actually, yeah, whether you were even in your community back in Africa, right? And the idea was that the tapping of the drums in a particular sequence would evoke an energy within you that would essentially call upon higher spirits that would convey messages, right? So, for example, there's this guy a while ago. I forgot his name. It's like this gray hair. Fuck, if I could remember his name. But he was essentially talking about like self-healing. Like, he went to like some of those like indigenous cultures, and he was learning from them, right? And because they were doing some like really magical shit, like creating fire, all this type of shit, right? And like he was saying that he realized that there were the singing, the dancing that they were doing was essentially to cultivate the energy that within that they needed to essentially manifest an external effect on reality, right? So the gist of it is, like, to manifest reality, you're essentially playing on, yeah, you're playing yourself, meaning you're using your emotions to work to your advantage. And so, by your emotions, your awareness becomes more amplified, right? And now, by your thought and your will, it gets focused and it sculpts that energy into something that is externally manifested, right? So, my point was music was a way to, it was actually more of like higher purpose kind of thing, right? It wasn't just to elevate spirits, but it was also to call upon um, higher level spirits to help, divine help, to essentially gain messages that would help cultures, communities move forward, right? That's why sometimes when you hear sick fucking instrumental, you just feel compelled to just fucking vomit or freestyle the illest shit because it's something that's beyond you, that's being brought forth, right? And so my point is, by freestyling, you're essentially going back to the root of that art, right? You're going back to the root of essentially um, connecting on the present moment and creating something divine from what you have, from what is already there. And it's such a huge, I'm saddened and shocked when I just find out how a lot of people, they just like write shit. And nothing that I don't have anything about writing, but one of the game changing ways to raise your creativity and even your mind to another level is by just going with the flow, forcing yourself to go with the flow, not have anything prepared, be 100% improv, and you'll be mind blown by the things that come out of your mouth because you already have the knowledge, you have the experiences, you have everything you need to create a masterpiece. You just gotta allow yourself to create it without like second guessing or doubting yourself, right? So please freestyle, and on top of that, know that some of the great pieces of music that we have today, whether it's from Bach, whether it's from Mozart, even whether it's from like artists from today, like Lil Wayne, like the reason why people love him, a little secret is that like most of the shit came from just freestyle sessions. It was like just so fucking ill. He's like, bro, let's just put that on a mixtape. And they're just like, and he's like, oh my god, he just said that. And then it just becomes the song. Put it out, and it's a fucking hit. Just like that. From a fucking freestyle. Or even people like Drake or Eminem, they're like freestyling, and then like, they're like, fucking that line is so epic. And then they either just put out that freestyle session, or they fucking they use it in a line, and you see how like that freestyle, just that one line, helps them create the fucking framework of an entire song that becomes a masterpiece album. I mean, the fucking, I think, what was it called? The Comeback Season by Drake. That was an entire fucking mixtape based on freestyles. And there's many more, like Swag Surfing from Lil Wayne, like all this shit. Like, it's all about the freestyle. And the better you are at freestyling, at improv, the better you'll be overall. Because it's like a way of keeping that energy alive. Let it just come out in the whatever way it feels to be fresh, right? And also, it allows you to find your rhythm, your cadence, that 1, 2, 3, 4 count that is most natural to you, that most goes in line with your essence, right? I was talking to this kid, and I was like telling him, actually, no, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And he was saying, no, it's and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And I was like, bro, do you not realize that everything is actually mathematical? And so if, for example, you know that the rate of speed, right? Rate of speed is meters per second, right? Now imagine that, let's say that to create a note, right? To create the G, right? You're doing so many vibrations per second, right? Now let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if they call this a beat. I'm not going to use that word. Any word I don't know, I'm not going to use, right? Let's say one is like one, to say, make the sound one, you're vibrating a particular amount of time per second, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when you add and one, you're adding more vibrations. Now, what does that mean? It results in an off-key note, right? So sometimes if you feel like your notes or your tones are off, check your mindset and ask yourself, how are you thinking, right? Don't fucking complicate shit. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. And he was complicated. And I was just like, the sad part was like, he was talking about how like playing the trombone and all these huge instruments is hard because of the way that the instruments are made and whatnot. And I was just thinking, man, it's probably because most of the time people don't even fucking know how to play their shit. Like, they just don't know how it actually works. And instead of playing bass in a way that sounds fucking clean, it just sounds shitty, right? But anyways, just remember that everything is a craft, and when you go to the depth of things, when you go to the root, when you go to the basic foundational things that create that craft, you'll realize that things are way more fucking simpler than we make them out to be, right? And so that was that. And also, one thing I was talking about, it's probably gonna like upset a lot of people, but realize at the end of the day, when you have that talent of rapping or freestyling, you don't need shit. You don't need external stimulus. Meaning, you don't need to fucking drink or smoke or get high to create sick work. Even though it might feel like it, even though it might feel like you're more creative when you do it, at the end of the day, at some point, you'll realize that you're not. That like, there's like a glass ceiling, and it really fucking hampers you. It's like way below. And if you can move yourself away from that stimulus, from fucking using that shit as a crutch, you realize that your potential is actually way fucking higher. Like, you're actually so much more sicker than you think you are, right? And it's just a matter of accepting that, hey, even though I'm not high, even though my body doesn't feel like, because that's what it feels like when you're high, you know, when you drink. Even though my body doesn't feel like it, I'm still just as awesome, if not better, when I'm sober. Things to think about. That was fucking deep. Fucking deep. Anyways, about to eat my tacos. Try to get myself to smash out this homework. And I hope that made sense. Just remember, it's all about that rhythm. The reason why Migos and all of them were fucking sick is because despite what people call mumble, their words are still on point. Just listen to the song. It's like every time they rap, it's like fucking perfectly on point with the fucking bass, the drums, everything. And like another thing, it's like something else. If you're a dancer, like that's what fucking good dancers do. When they pop and move their body, it goes along with the song, right? It's not just like, oh, I'm just popping because it looks cool, but it looks shit. it's like this perfect harmony, this perfect flow that goes in line with the music. And it's like the music is kind of like the muse, kind of giving it a direction and like making it special because of its particular intonation, like the bass, the drums, etc. And then the artist, the dancer, the rapper, just makes it fucking ill with his flair, with his style, with his fucking soul. And that's what good dancers, fucking Jabberwocky is. That shit is so sick. Remember America's Best Dance Crew season 1? That shit still to this day. Just look at those fucking type of dancers. They just, it's like everything just moves in tune with the music. And it's just beautiful to see. Whew. Anyways, hope you guys get something out of this. And as always, Swag the fuck out.
Super Mario. T.